Tanjung Gemuk Ferry Terminal in Rompin Pahang, Malaysia is a meeting point to Tioman Island, other than Mersing Ferry Terminal. Nearby Endau Rompin Bridge, the jetty is opposite to the LIKM, the Rompin Fisheries Development Authority of Malaysia. From 10th to 12 August 2012, a group of 27 members of international community students from the National University of Malaysia visited Tioman Island, one of the world's most beautiful and attractive islands that ever been stated by the Time magazines since 1970s. There are several companies that provide ferry accommodation, hotel bookings, travels and tours, and other services at the terminal complex. The UKM students choose Blue Water Ferry Services from Bestari Gemilang Shipping Company. The ferry passengers have to register the attendance at the jetty 30 minutes earlier before the boarding time, which at 11:30 AM. At the marine counter, the tourists were given some important information about the marine park of Tioman Island and neighborhood by the officers. Maps and brochures were also distributed by them to make sure the tourists get enough guidance during the exploration of Tioman Island. Tanjung Gemuk Ferry Terminal Complex consists of government office, shopping lots, ticket counters, waiting hall, prayer rooms and others. While waiting for the boarding time on that day at about 11:30 AM, some students spend their time to play table tennis, the only game provided there to fulfill their precious hours. At the boarding time, most of the passengers were busy carrying their luggage to the ferry after waiting for several hours. The trip was well organized by the students and was guided by one lecturer, Dr. Novel, and 3 facilitators who came along during the trip. Some were happy and eager to get into the ferry. Maybe this is the first time they're traveling to Tioman Island. While in the ferry, passengers are free chatting to each other, hearing music, reading newspapers or taking photographs. In the ferry, the passengers were being seated according to their groups. The ferry was then started moving to Tioman, left Kuala Rompin to South China Sea. Tioman Island is approximately 2.5 hours journey from Tanjung Gemuk, depend on the condition of South China Sea. It was very lucky for someone sitting beside the window as the scenery was so beautiful. There are multiple races, local and foreign tourists from various countries in the world come regularly to visit Tioman Island. The fare is 70 ringgit Malaysia per adult, while 50 ringgit Malaysia per child for 2 ways journey. During the festival seasons, the trip is more frequent due to more passengers come to visit Tioman Island for leisure. pilot has more experience to move the ferry in good order and make sure all the passengers are safe during the journey and reach Tioman according to the schedule. Everyone who visits Tioman Island is compulsory to pay Marine Park visiting fee. 4 ringgit Malaysia for an adult and 2 ringgit Malaysia per child. Tioman Island consists of 9 main islands. Each island is very unique with specific corals and underwater lives. On the way to Tioman, we could see several small islands and hard rocks, abandoned, bald, without tree. Only grasses can live there. During the fasting month, the ferry travel only once a day compared to normal day. There are 2 trips provided. The first trip at 8 AM and the second is at 2 PM. The ferry operates from Tanjung Gemuk to Tioman and back to Tanjung Gemuk is fast, efficient, comfortable and fully air-conditioned. Among the prohibited activities are: first, not to collect any marine resources dead or alive. Second, no water sport activities using high-powered boat. Third, no discharge or deposit any pollutant. Fourth, not to remove or destroy any public amenities. The main obstacle that the ferry faced during the journey are heavy rain with storm, wind and abnormal squall condition. Some are sleeping and some are relaxing. After 2 hours journey, we were welcomed by the School of Seabirds just before we reached the first jetty at Kampung Paya. Tourists are also not allowed to build or erect any structure in the marine park. No scuba diving and no snorkeling at the boat lanes. Located at 32 kilometers off the east coast of Peninsular Malaysia in Pahang State, it covers 39 kilometers long and 12 kilometers wide. The island looks like a thumb up symbol. After transit, the ferry then moved towards Kampung Tekek, about another 15 minutes. There are 18-hole golf course, tours and cruises around Tioman Island, fishing excursion, scuba diving, snorkeling, island hopping trips, jungle trekking, rock climbing, visiting to caves and others. The fascinating and the wonderful island with colorful tourists and such activities popularize Tioman nowadays. Tioman Island is part of Pahang Marine Parks. The Tioman Authority needs to preserve corals from extinct and underwater lives from being destroyed. Few fishermen boats could be seen at Tioman Island, but further to the sea. What makes the Tioman Island interesting? The facts like the human activities, the attractive flora and fauna, the green tropical rainforest, beautiful beaches, birds, amphibians, reptiles, marine lives and coral reefs are also marvelous experience to see. Those real experience plus jungle exploration and unique Paradise Island attract the photo enthusiasts and journalists to come here. There are many chalet, homestay and resorts scattered everywhere, especially along the beaches for rental. About 2 o'clock now, the time for landing at Kampung Tekek Jetty. Everyone was busy carrying his or her belongings. The crew members were helping the passengers loading their luggage. The Malaysian Navy always monitoring the island and the states of Malaysia to make sure the people living here are safe and secured by any enemies and subversives. After passing through immigration checkpoint, the group of UKM students walked on the bridge to cross the river and consequently waiting for the transports to send them to their homestay. Everyone loves peaceful country like Malaysia and live in harmony. Since the group consists of 27 members, we have to take turn to get into the vehicles for the homestay 2 kilometers away. Some were still waiting and some were strolling around. On the journey to homestay, we could see many developments like new school, shop lots and new homes. Immediately after passing the Tekek Yacht Club compound, almost 5 minutes journey, the UKM community students reached the rented homestay, a bungalow complex where they have their lunch there. The complex has 3 rooms that occupied 12 persons, while others were government office for Tioman Sanitation Department. Another 17 members were placed at the Peladang homestay nearby. Kampung Tekek is a special village. It has Berjaya Airport, the only airport in Tioman. It has the longest main road that linked from Marine Park beside Air Batang village to Berjaya Resort to the south, and also has a road connection to Kampung Juara at the east, another nice village facing to the South China Sea. After lunch, the group was taken to Tioman Marine Park Information Center, but the center was closed on Saturday.
Actually, the snorkeling and swimming time is today, this afternoon, but I'm aware that all of you doesn't.
At the small shop nearby, the students could easily rent the snorkeling equipment, including whistle and security jacket, at a reasonable price. Encik Ismail, the project manager, wants everybody has a chance to do snorkeling to see the amazing corals and colorful fishes. So, the group was intended to go for snorkeling, but some of them were happy to have sunbathing or just wetting their body at the nearby seashore. They spent almost 3 hours bathing and enjoyed the clear water before they were asked to gather and clean their body as the sunset appeared. The students would then have to wait for the vehicles to fetch them back to the homestay. The next day after breakfast, all the students have to do another assignment. They were divided into 2 groups, male and female groups. This time they have to join hands in clearing up the beaches from rubbish and cigarette butts. At the meantime, while both groups did their assignment, there were still a crowd of tourists come to visit Kampung Teke. Kampung Teke is the largest and the most popular village almost at the middle of the island. At this moment, when the time comes at 11 a.m., the feeling of pleasant cool breeze but a bit warm and dry weather sometimes make the students uncomfortable. Both groups meet at the middle of the beaches where the soft drink and cakes were served to them, sponsored by the head of the Teke village. A propeller plane services by Berjaya Air was also busy sending the tourists to mainland such as Kuantan Airport in Pahang, Subang Airport in Selangor and Changi Airport in Singapore.
奇怪。你就老讲我听不懂的话。这个好深的洞啊！蛇，你应该把人家埋起来。
人家都要造假垃圾的。
An appreciation has to be given to all the community students as they always to give good cooperation during the vacation.
Dalam sejam cukup lah. Sekarang renang sampai pukul 11. Okay.
Most of the tourists were happy to stay at Kampung Teke as the people there were very friendly. As a result, Kampung Teke beaches become more clean and ready to welcome any local and foreign tourists. Both groups were then happy as they could meet together at the position mentioned before they came back to homestay for lunch. Beside Kampung Teke, Kampung Air Batang and Kampung Juara, one more village that tourists prefer to come is Kampung Salang. After lunch at about 2:30 p.m. on the same day, the group was moving to the north to Kampung Salang beaches, another beautiful paradise to enjoy and study the socio-economy of the community there. The 40 minutes interesting journey forced the participants moving around on the boat to take photos because of the beautiful scenery, fantastic look of green rainforest, tropical jungle, hard rocks and the blue ocean. At the same time, the cool wind blows with fresh air. Located at the north of the island, Salang Beach is a paradise to be discovered. Students group reached at Salang Jetty, they could see many activities such as swimming, diving, snorkeling, boating, fishing and others. Walking towards the food court at Salang Jetty, we saw the blue clear water with corals at the shallow and colorful fishes. Indah Resort is one of the resorts chosen by most people because many bars, shop lots with duty-free and food courts were so near. However, lots more places to explore in Tioman Island, especially underwater marine lives, Minang Cove, Asih Waterfall, Kampung Juara Turtle Projects, Golden City, Panuba Bay, Funny River, Tulai Island secret buildings, and many more. On the other hand, couples like to come here for honeymoon, family gathering, meeting places, group motivation courses, as well as having some joyful entertainment. Finally, if you are given a choice to visit Malaysian islands, please choose wonderful Tioman Island, the paradise beaches.